question is, how do I find prospects? I want to do 3 to 5 presentations a day. I just don't have enough people to talk to. And, you know, it's interesting that you put 3 to 5 per day, because one of my core trainings is if you want to get to a full-time income, you've got to be prepared to do 3 to 5 presentations every single day, 5, 6 days a week. Take off Sundays, take off Saturdays, whatever day, you know, you like. But you need to be doing 5, 6 days a week, minimum 3 presentations a day if you want to get full-time. If you want to make big money, be prepared to do 5+. So in the beginning, when it's just you, it's you doing personal presentations. Now, once you have an organization, you can be doing presentations for the people in your organization, and it gets a lot easier to do those 3 to 5. So how do you get to 3 to 5 presentations a day before you have a team that's putting you to work? Well, one is obviously through your warm market. You know, people all the time, in fact, it just happened the other day. Someone says, I've contacted everyone I know. And I said, hey, let me see your phone real quick. I get their phone, I go to their contacts, and I go, have you called this person? Yes. Have you called this person? Well, no. Have you called this person? Well, no. So chances are you haven't shown everyone that you know. I mean, that's just always the case. So one is going through your entire contact list. Number 2 is going to your Facebook and printing out all of your friends. And, you know, so that's a big place to contact people. Maybe you don't have their phone number. You can shoot them a message. Hey, we haven't talked in a long time. I don't have your number anymore. Shoot me your number. I'll give you a call. So that's one. Obviously, starting with your warm and maybe cool market. Then you've got your cold market. Now, the only reason to go into the cold market is to get into their warm market. And I was actually doing a little leadership breakfast when I was in Kenya. I was in Eldoret, which is the home of champions. It's where the best runners in the world come from Kenya, in a specific area in Eldoret. And they gave me, by the way, the most amazing reception I've ever seen, you know, singing. They gave me a drink, a blanket, necklace. I mean, it was a really cool experience. And so we did a couple presentations. The next morning, we do a leadership breakfast. And I talked about, you know, here's how, if you have a weekly flagship meeting in your area, what causes the weekly flagship to grow and what causes it to decline? And there's a couple ways that you troubleshoot a meeting like that. So I'm giving you a little bonus content here today. So here's how you troubleshoot a weekly flagship meeting. If it's growing, there's 2 reasons for that. One is you're doing a lot of one-on-ones, two-on-ones, and home launch parties in between the flagship meetings. So if it's growing, you got a lot of that going on in between. If you're having everyone rely on the flagship meeting to recruit, the flagship meeting is going to go down, because that is not enough. You've got to be recruiting in between. See, there's a concept called recruiting to invite or inviting to recruit. So you have the weekly flagship meeting, and what an amateur in network marketing will do is they will invite to recruit to the weekly flagship. Okay, so they wait till that once a week, or maybe it's twice a week. Let's say once a week on Tuesday nights, here's my big recruiting opportunity. So you're inviting, and you get there. Now, that's one recruiting opportunity a week. That's what an amateur does. What a professional does is they recruit to invite. So Tuesday comes, they invite to it. That's great. People enroll. But what they're doing on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesdays is they're doing one-on-ones, two-on-ones, and launch parties in between. Okay? And what happens is when you have enough people who are recruiting to invite, enough people who have that professional mentality, your weekly flagship meeting will continue to grow. That's one of the reasons. The other reason why it will grow or die is based on the leaders in that market personally inviting to the meeting. See, your organization needs to see you bringing personal prospects to the weekly flagship meeting. And if they don't, guess what happens? They don't. Okay, so it's speed of the pack is determined by the speed of the leader, right? Cliched, but very true. And so if the meeting is going down, what you'll notice is the leaders are not personally recruiting to the meeting. And a lot of times the leader is like, well, yeah, but I've already recruited 50 or 60 people. I've got this big organization. I've already talked to all my warm market. I'm already successful. Listen, that's no excuse. If you want to have massive growth, you've got to be personally recruiting. And there are people everywhere. And so I'm doing this leadership training to my group there. And as I'm talking about this, the guy comes and he's filling up the coffee. And I just wanted to illustrate the point of how simple it really is if you're willing to break out of your comfort zone, if you're willing to just start conversations. And it doesn't matter what you say specifically. Now, I'll give you some stuff to say, but here's what I did. And this is not, by no means is this the best recruiting script. But as he's filling up a coffee, I said, "Excuse me, sir, what are you doing on Tuesday night?" And I smiled and he looked at me and it shocked him a little bit, and he says, "I guess I'll be with my family." And I said, "Oh, okay, so you don't have anything going on. You're free on Tuesday night?" And he kind of nods, and I say, "Listen, well, we have a business that we're launching here in the area, and if you're open to the idea of earning some income outside of what you're doing here, we'd love to have you come as our guest." Right? So I just invited him. Now, are there more clever ways to do it? Absolutely. I just wanted to illustrate the point to the leaders there that you can just go up to anywhere. There are people everywhere. And so if you have the mentality of you're willing to get out of your comfort zone, it's not the most difficult thing to do if you're willing to open your mouth. So how do you do that? Here's another. Now, I just said something random. What are you doing on Tuesday night? I cleared the date, right? He said he was free. There's no reason why he wouldn't come now, right? So I cut it off. I said, "I'll have one of these guys follow up with you and have you come out." Right? Now, here's what I've done a lot is when you meet someone, be interested in them. Okay? Ask them what they do for a living. Ask them how long they've been doing it. Wow, you must love it. And, that sometimes you'll find an opening. Well, it says, "Listen, are you married to your job? Or are you open-minded? You open-minded to earning income in addition to what you're doing right now?" And listen, when you say, are you open to earning income in addition to what you're doing right now? That may not be the best recruiting script in the world, but it is for the right person, okay? That may turn off some people, but it's not going to turn off the right person, okay? So it's more of a sorting than it is a selling. So I could give you the best script in the world of going through a rapport building process, giving them multiple compliments. Listen, I'd love to sit down and have coffee with you. You seem like a very sharp, intelligent guy. There might be some synergies between what I do and what you do, or between what I do and what your skill sets are. There's a ton of stuff that you can do, but the bottom line is you just have to open your mouth, and you've got to do it a lot. And there's so many stories of people who've been through their warm market, and stories of people who come from another country and they come into a new area and they become millionaires, 6 to 7 figure earners, all in the cold market because they were willing to go out and just open their mouth. And so that's the bottom line. Is the biggest tip that I can give you is go start a lot of conversations. Even if you don't get the number, start a lot of conversations so you can get in the habit of getting good with people and increasing your communication skills. Now, another thing that I would recommend you do is read a bunch of books on communication skills. So read Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. Read Skill with People by Les Giblin. Read How to Have Confidence and Power in Dealing with People. Read those 3 books, and you're going to have a little bit more of a skill set, a little bit more knowledge than most people are. Then obviously you got to go put it into practice. So I appreciate that question. Thank you so much.